Was about to say Happy Monday. I don't think there is such a thing as a Happy Monday. There's an okay Monday. There's an optimistic Monday. Happy is probably mental illness because Mondays really are they're difficult, and especially right now, Mondays are even more difficult because if you have to stay home, you're frustrated that you have to stay home, and if you have to go to work, you're really frustrated that you have to go to work. So nobody's happy at this point in time. So it's a little confusing how to start a video. Aside from that, I have not made a video in quite some time. There's tons of reasons for that, and one of them is, well, the main reason is because I was watching footage from the videos that I filmed when I started the channel, and some of them weren't quite up to my standards. Some of them, even the audio got lost. It's just like, and when I become obsessed with something, like I've become obsessed with makeup again, I sort of become this like voracious consumer of knowledge, and I learn a lot for a while because I can't stop researching and studying and learning about the topic. And I've been trying to learn how to be a better makeup artist, how to apply it, how to take care of my skin, how to prepare this is your palette, this is what you're working with, your canvas, and then your makeup's your palette, and like there's so many different things, and I've had to like try different foundations and different combinations because my skin's changed over the years, and it changes weekly because I'm old and because of the weather changes, and it's like it takes a long time to actually like get the hang of doing your makeup again after you've not done it for like 15 years. So I'm still not perfect at it, but I feel like I'm getting better at doing my makeup. Excuse me. I've also been sick. I got sick in the middle of March, and I'm feeling much better now. I have a tiny bit of a lingering cough, but I didn't want to use my makeup for like a month or two because I just, even January, early February, like the germs were headed this way towards America. We knew it was coming, and I didn't want to go out, and I didn't want to wear makeup, and I didn't want to contaminate my makeup, and so then I got sick and confirmed my suspicions about everything, and that made me feel even worse. So like the first thing I did was like sanitize my entire makeup kit and wash all my brushes and do all the things, and then I didn't touch it because obviously I didn't want to contaminate it being sick. So yeah, lots of reasons that I haven't made a makeup video in a while, but today I'm gonna do one because I have things to talk about, I have things to share, and honestly, the thing that set me off today is that I've had a bad experience, and I just need to do something to cheer myself up, to get my mind off of it, to get it off my chest, and yeah, so I'm just gonna do my makeup while I chat. I think I'm not gonna talk about it a whole lot. I'm just gonna do it, and we'll see how it goes. I think I'm getting better at it. You'll have to let me know. But yeah, so I was expecting a letter from a friend, and I noticed that it was delivered, and so I went out to check the mailbox, and instead of my letter, I found this note from my postal carrier saying that there wasn't enough postage on it, they couldn't deliver it, and I owed postage and I needed to go to the post office. Now, I don't know if you've dealt with this yourself, but basically the post office has classifications for letters, right? So like if it's a certain size, it's not a letter, it's a parcel. things like that. They have guidelines for how they determine what type of postage you need. All right, so my friend went to the post office, and the post office determined that it was a letter because of its size, and put postage on it according to what it was supposed to be. Now, they didn't get the post office to print postage because they had brought stamps with them and they didn't want to spend extra money on things when they already had stamps. Totally normal. I've done that myself. But when the letter got to the Deland post office, who is responsible for delivering the mail in this area, in this city, and the surrounding areas, they decided that it was a parcel and not a letter. And that's why they wanted to charge me extra postage. So, instead of, knocking on my door or whatever, or, giving me the opportunity to get it right then, they left me this note and this little orange slip, it says, you gotta come in with your ID, or you gotta send a representative with an ID or whatever, and then you can get your thing. So I went in and asked if a postal worker helped my friend put postage on this, how can you then decide that it's not enough postage? And she said, well, it's not got a printed barcode on it, so there's no way that your friend actually took it to the post office and had the postal worker tell them what postage you put on it. They just slapped a couple stamps on it and sent it to you. So you owe us the money, and you can't get your thing. You can refuse it if you want to, blah, 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 and we'll send it back to him, blah, blah. I said, no. You made me come here in the middle of COVID to get this thing. I'm not going to have to come back and do it again when you again reject it. So I went ahead and I paid the whatever it was and got the thing. But that didn't make me less mad. Like, I had been having a pretty emotional, in different ways, weekend. Cover this stupid age spot. I have age spots now. Can you believe that crap? Anyway. You probably can. But I don't like it. Anyway. So, I've been sick, quarantined, self-isolating, not dealing with people. And then my husband's 40th birthday was Saturday, and I had all of his friends get together with me and his family, and we put together messages and cards and pictures and stuff, and we did a little, virtual birthday for him, which was amazing. Everybody did great, and he loved it, and it was fantastic. And, it's also kind of emotional, because at the same time, yay, we heard from everybody, and we've talked to everybody, but it just kind of makes me miss them more. I know that makes sense to a lot of people. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, but this wasn't absence, because it was actually more anyway. So I was just sort of feeling down about not being able to actually get together with my family, and at the same time being really grateful that we have so many amazing people in our lives as our friends and family. But and I have some stuff with my own family that's going on. Like, my mom and I are estranged. She's mad at me because I sent my brother, well, I didn't send him to jail because they haven't arrested him, but I think he belongs in jail because he's a child molester. And anyway, she's on his side in defending him for reasons unknown. She always has. He's her baby, but and we're talking about a woman that never bothered to call me since I started college 10 or 20 years ago because, she didn't want to pay for long distance. Every time I've spoken to her, she would leave a message and I would have to call her back. Or she would use the toll-free number for work and I'd have to call her back, So it's not like she's been trying real hard to be my mom for quite some time. But anyway, so I got all that going on, and I'm thinking about my grandparents all the time, which makes me really sad because they're both gone. I'm kind of glad they're gone and not living through this right now, because this is some seriously scary shit. And there's just so much going on that I'm glad they didn't see and don't have to deal with. But yeah, and my dad is still sick, of course. So, and my trip to Indiana to see everyone got canceled because of stupid COVID. And so, and, you know, I'm just feeling shitty. And where was I going with this? So anyway, post office lady made me really mad, on top of everything else that I've been feeling. And I just, you know, I left the post office with completely wrong, angry thinking. Like, it's wrong to think this, but I'm like, not enough people have this. The human race is a disease itself. It's okay if thousands of people die, because there's too many of these bastards. Stuff like that people actually think, but don't want to admit that they think, because it makes you an evil person. Whatever. People who know me know I don't really think that, because I spent the whole morning being heartbroken about everyone not being able to get together and losing people, and blah, blah. So, yeah. And then, across 3 lanes of traffic, there's this woman practically leaping out the side of her vehicle to scream across 3 lanes of traffic at me that my Jeep is fucking awesome. Yeah. And I practically fell out of my Jeep to wave back, because she's right, and I love her, and she is like one of the few people on the planet that I felt like saving at that particular moment. And I thought, you don't know it, lady, but you're the reason I don't hate humanity right now. People like that are awesome. And yes, you're right, my Jeep is fucking awesome. So anyway, I don't know. I was upset, and then I wasn't upset. It happens. So anyway, and I told you about the birthday thing, and it went well. I put up a video, but it's an unlisted video, so unless you have the link, you won't be able to find it, I don't think. And if you do, that's great, because my husband is adorable, and I love him stupid amounts, and the video is great. It's cute. Yeah. But anyway, I've been, like I said, I've been researching makeup, trying to get better at it, and I'm feeling blue today. Yeah, so amongst these other things, like, I don't know, it's difficult for me to put into words how my eyes are creasing because I put foundation on them. Hold on. Hold, please. That's wrong. I got carried away because my eyes are so red. Like, let's talk about this for a minute, because this affects the way that I do makeup, and probably should affect the way everyone does makeup. It's been bothering me for a while that people, like, obviously I am sick. I have the beginnings of heart disease. I have diabetes. I have problems. But I have, like, a lot of really small veins really close to the surface on my skin, on my cheeks. And I have 8 spots on my forehead. But my eyelids are also very, very red all the time. I mean, my face is, like, red to the point where people ask me if I'm feeling okay, if I'm sick. Like, people are afraid I'm going to have a heart attack because my face is so red. So that's, you know, like, one of the reasons why I've been wearing makeup. Like, I want to not have to deal with people seeing my skin problems and assuming it's something else. They're talking about everybody's wearing masks now. I don't own masks. I have a handkerchief that I can wear when I go to town, but, like, makeup is my mask. And I don't know, it just sort of became more important to me as time goes on. Like, not even like I don't mind being older. I don't mind getting older. But it bothers me that I have to deal with other people having an issue with it. This is eye primer, which is much better to put on your lid. A very thin layer. You can use your finger or a brush with this. It's a very, very dry cream. It's a e.l.f. But it's not supposed to crease or gather up and be a huge issue. It's just supposed to like even out your tone and make a nice base for your shadow. Because I have very oily lids, and oil, I have learned, breaks down makeup. So what you want to do is you want to put a barrier between your skin's oil and your makeup, and that's what primers are for. I didn't use one on my face because I'm not expecting to wear this for an extended period of time, and I did use the It oil-free foundation. I got that finally, and I'm starting to use that. So hopefully the creasing will stop, and now that I'm using primers and doing the right things, my makeup won't look like garbage by the end of the day. I think it's been lasting pretty well, even in Florida when you're out in the heat and stuff. But yeah, so I don't know, and I've had trouble because, like, even though makeup seems important to me, who else is going to watch makeup videos? And then on the other hand, well, everybody might, because we're all bored because everybody has to stay home. And please, stay home. It's really important. My dad got sick. He has cancer and heart disease and like, I think he's got asthma. He's got all kinds of problems. And he got sick. And he had a fever of 100 and something. They did test him for COVID. He tested negative. But he still got sick because someone else out there was going around sick. You need to stay home so that your germs don't end up on my dad. It's not that hard. Just stay home. So many, like, even like in the town I live in, it's full of psychos and idiots right now. Nobody, like, I went out because I had to today. That's the only reason I went out. And there was people all over the place. It's like, you know, they don't even care what's going on in the world. It's like nothing's changed. Except when I went in the post office, they had plastic over the counters, and they had face masks on. They had 4 bottles of hand sanitizer on the counter so that everybody could use it. Which I didn't touch that because everyone in town had touched it. And I'm just like, you know, you're fine. You're making me come in here. I don't want to be here. You don't want me here. Just deliver the fucking mail, and then I won't have to be here. But anyway, I don't know. But yeah, people are not staying home. So we're just going to continue to see things get worse. I'm at the point now where I'm like, I don't know if we're going to have Halloween Horror Nights this year because people will not behave themselves. And I could really use some Halloween Horror Nights. That's honestly something that one of the things I'm looking forward to the most. And I don't even like to get scared, but for some reason, this is another thing, I have been really, like, an unusual amount enjoying weird, scary crap. Like, I've been watching horror movies, monster documentaries, weird, weird shit. But not Tiger King, and I'll tell you why. I decided immediately that I did not want anything to do with an animal abusing murder plot. I do not need that shit. I am not that bored. People don't believe me. They say, oh, you'll give in and you'll watch it. Fuck no, I won't. I am not giving my attention to that shit. And if you are, you shouldn't be. It's garbage. And then the more people watch garbage, the more garbage they want to make. So if you haven't watched it, and you're putting your foot down like me and you don't want to watch it, stay strong. We don't have to watch that shit, and we shouldn't. And that's how I feel about that. Has anybody had problems with their ColourPop palettes? Because mine, my little, this is the Blue Moon palette, just an example, but like all of my palettes are this way. The little pots are like coming loose, and when I open the palette, they're not down in it. They're like crooked and cockeyed and coming out and stuff. I have to be very careful how I treat this thing, because if I don't, I'm gonna lose some colors. And you know, I know ColourPop's affordable and everything with their $10 to $15 palettes or whatever, but it's not that cheap, and I hate losing makeup. So I don't know. You'll have to tell me if you're having the same problems. And it's just the ones it's just the 9 pans in the plastic. Because I have some regular, like the cardboard folios, and they don't do that. They're fine. It's just the plastic ones. It's something about the way they put the little pots into the thing. They don't want to stay. If that makes sense. So, I don't know. I'm at a loss of what to do for liner. I think, do I have a whole thing of liners right now. Let's see. That's Epic Ink. Black. Okay, I did not buy the blue the other day. So I do not have blue. Unless this is blue. Oh, this is blue. Oh, nice. We'll stick with blue. I don't know why, but I know you're not supposed to like stretch your eye when you do this stuff, but this pencil, these pencils I should say, this is a Wet n Wild, and it doesn't want to write. And like putting my hand down to like be steady would work if this was actually doing anything. It's not really. I don't know if it's dried up or what's the deal is with that. But I don't have anything to wet it or fix it right now. So we won't stick with blue. We'll just go with black, because why not? It makes me so mad. Like, I have this little tiny point, and I try to do the little tiny line with the sideways point, and it like, I don't know why, but it bleeds up into my shadow. I wish things were working better today, because I haven't been having this much trouble. For some reason, when I'm trying to talk and do my makeup at the same time, it's not working. as good as it normally does. It could be like that, you know, don't cook when you don't feel good thing. Maybe you're not supposed to do your makeup when you don't feel good either. I don't know. That's not too bad. Good luck getting the other side to match, huh? Actually, I'm usually better at this side. One of my friends was like, how do you learn to do that? Honestly, you just get a pencil or a pen, some kind of eyeliner, and you just practice. Just whack it on there. Wear it all the time. Do it as much as you can. Even professional makeup artists that have been doing it for years have days where they cannot make them match to save their lives. It's not the end of the world if it's not perfect. At the end of the day, unless you're having a close-up right up in your face, it's not going to matter. Nobody's going to care. And the other fun thing is you can always, like here I've got a little tiny spot where it messed up. I'm just going to take a little bit of my concealer on a little tiny slim brush with a nice flat edge and cover over that. And voila. What is that? Is that a hair? I think that's a hair. A mold. I have hairs. So, not a lot of shadow up on the, close to the brow bone or anything. And I think I'm going to leave it like that. Blue tends to get messy, and I like to be more precise with my bold colors now, instead of having them all smoked out and faded out. Just because I feel like they look, well, they look neater. Kind of less like you're trying to be obnoxiously bad at makeup if you just put on a little color. Maybe that's just my mood. I don't know. I could go back to doing like full-on Barbie all the way up to the, you know, ancient Egypt all the way up to here color, but you know, not right now. Okay, I think we're recording again. This camera shuts off after 20 minutes, like most prosumer cameras does. It's annoying. It is what it is. So, it doesn't look too bad. Of course, my hooded eyes have struck again, and now I have a little bit of mascara up on my hood. Because I blinked before my mascara got dry. But, not too bad. You'll notice I also like tapped on my foundation. That was something I learned from Robert Welsh. Because I have very large pores, I want to tap the foundation in to the pores so that they, you know, basically fill the pore and make it look like it has makeup on it. Because if you, I dropped my brush. Because if you don't, it's going to look like garbage later. Because your oil's going to break it down and it's going to slide around and it's not going to cover the pores. The right brush? That's not the right brush. This is the right brush. Yeah, this is the right brush. So I nearly forgot to do bronzer today. And again, I think it's because I'm not used to doing this. I'm talking at the same time I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to remember everything I got going on so I can talk to people. Yeah, so the channel. Yeah, I kind of just wanted to... It's like, you know, when you do something and then you realize you've gotten better at it since then, or you think you've gotten better at it since then, and you start looking at your old stuff and it's like, man, this is garbage. You just don't want to... You don't want to post it. You're like, I can do better. I want to do better. So, yeah, I'll have to film new content. And the other thing that's bothering me is my computer doesn't want to edit full HD. It only wants to do 720. And that's because my processor doesn't have enough cores to support editing full HD, which I didn't know when I bought the computer. That's another thing. Like, I researched that, or my husband researched most of it and then told me, but it made total sense when he explained it to me. But just like, that was yet another thing that I had going wrong. So I don't have a new computer. Not likely to get one now because things are, you know, the economy's slowing down. We sell souvenirs for a living. We're in the tourist industry. I don't know if you knew that or not, but if people don't go on vacation, we don't sell stuff. And if we don't sell stuff, we don't have money. Yay, capitalism. Yeah, so... is what it is, I guess. What can you do? Make do with what you got is what we're doing. Is that the right brush? Ever since I washed my brushes and I had to rearrange them in the little thing that I keep them in, I grabbed the brush and I'm like, is that really the brush I use for that? Highlight. Yeah, I guess. I got some new brushes too that I had I pre-ordered, and rather than cancel the order, I'm just like, you know, just go ahead and bring it because I want them anyway. And yeah, so here they are, and this one is one of them, and this little triangle brush, this is my new concealer brush that I love. These are both made by Complex Culture. They're not bad little brushes. They're kind of fun. So anyway, everything's new around here. Nothing's the same. And things are continuing to change. Huzzah. I'm sure you're all in similar situations. Nothing is quite the way it was before. It's a little annoying, but at the same time, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. You adapt. Just adapt. You'll be fine. We'll all be fine. Everything will be fine. It'll go back to at least some sort of version of normal after all of this passes, and hopefully we'll be able to get back to doing what we do. I may have put on too much blush. I don't care. Because no one's going to see this. And then I put it on the internet and literally everyone in the world sees it. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. I also can't get my hair done, which is one of the most annoying things in the universe, because I put in color, Allie put in color, in like the beginning of November. It was the purple and the blue. You might have seen it on my Instagram. Gorgeous. Gorgeous color. Fun. And people were screaming out car windows at me how much they loved my highlights and all of that. And now it's like, it's grown out, like, to here. The blue faded to a teal, which I'm really digging the teal highlights. The purple is still quite purple, but faded some. and now my grays are back. And I can't go see Allie to fix it, and I don't know what to do. So I'm just sort of like in hair limbo. I guess it doesn't matter because we're not going out. Nobody's really seeing my hair much. I can put it in a bun, and it, just looks like I've grown out my natural hair color from the front. If you have suggestions on what to do for hair when you have kind of this accidental ombre going on, leave it in the comments and let me know. Probably won't do it, but it's still nice to know what people have to say and what people have done, other opinions, because eventually I'm going to see Allie again and I'm going to get this mop straightened up, and I'll need to know what I want to do, because she can do anything if I know what it is that I want done. You have to kind of know what you're going for, Although I could totally just show up and be like, I don't know, fix it, and then she would fix it for me, because she's that good. But I'd like to have some idea what I want. I was actually nervous about my hair color because I was supposed to go to this to ring day at my alma mater and present my niece with her college ring, which we now don't know how she's supposed to get, even though she's already paid for it. The school won't hand it to her because they want to have the traditional ceremony, blah blah blah, which is fine. It's fine. I know she'll get it eventually, and it's kind of a big deal. It's been a tradition for 100 years or something. And, I remember my ring day. It was a very special day. And, it's one of those sisterhood things. And you really, you don't want to shortchange the kids on being able to get that. But at the same time, she paid $900. She probably should have a ring. But anyway, so it was kind of a formal thing, and I'm like, I'm blue and purple. Well, what do we do? What do I do with this? And what do I do with my lips today? Is that a color I want? It's pretty bold. I don't think that's what I want. I think we want something more natural today. Something more nude. Yes, I am always this scatterbrained. If you're new here, congratulations, you've experienced it. Yeah, so I'm going to this Catholic school that I used to go to, and gonna be in front of a couple hundred people with half grown out purple hair. I was kind of glad that that didn't end up happening. At the same time, devastated that I couldn't go see my family. So, yeah. And if they reschedule, then what? So, the camera batteries are dying. I don't have it plugged in, I just have it on batteries. That is not as natural as I thought it would be. But, we'll go with it. Doesn't look too bad. So, yeah. I don't know. It's such a weird time. On this weird mix of anxious and relieved all at the same time, and hopeful and not, and I love people, and I also don't love people. But anyway, my makeup's on. I feel like I look human because I'm wearing bright blue eyeshadow. Actually, it's kind of like a powder blue, which is funny because the very first eyeshadow I ever wore was my grandmother Faber's, and it was this color, powder blue. And my mom was upset that I put it on, I think. She didn't argue with Grandma. So I guess, Grandma, this eyeshadow is for you. She has, of course, passed away, and like my other two grandparents, and my other grandpa died when I was very little. So anyway, that's the finished makeup look, and honestly I feel a little better, so thanks for listening to me ramble on. I hope some of it made any sense. And I hope that you're doing well. Be well.
Well, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.